Hey guys, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. I have another book review for you guys. So I am an avid reader. I say that every time. I fly through. I usually read like 3 to 6 novels a week. These are all books I've read this year, and then I have one of these carts filled with like my to be read physical books, and then I still have like a stack that doesn't fit in it. So I have an obsession with the bookstore. I like to go. It's like my happy place, and I can never walk out with less than like 3 books at a time. So I'm trying to go through my books that I've read and start talking about books that I really, really loved and some that I feel like are not talked about enough. So this book today is a book, I don't know where I was recommended. I think it might have been my Peloton Moms book club recommended this book, and it's so good. And I never see people talk about it, so I feel like I had to do this video. So it is by Julia Heberlin, and it's called We Are All the Same in the Dark. Guys, this is so good. So I read everything. I say that all the time. I love romance. I love thrillers. I love historical fiction. The only thing I don't read is horror. This is not horror. This is a psychological thriller. And ironically, Ellen Hildebrand, which is I love her. She's a great author, said, if you only read one thriller this year, let it be this one. It is so good, you guys. So it's just so well written. It is a slow burn, I will say that. So it starts off with this man, Wyatt, driving down like a deserted highway. I don't remember where it says this takes place, but my gut is saying it's Texas. I feel like anytime that you see like those small town thrillers, it's always Texas, and it's always like West Texas or East Texas. It's never like the center of Texas, but it's like, we don't like your kind here, they don't like outsiders. I'm from Texas, I can say that, but like they don't like the outsiders coming in. And this reminds me very much of like a small Texas town. 10 years ago, a girl went missing. Her name was Trumanelle, and they never found her body, okay? And the town is like stuck. They're stuck, okay? They still have her picture up at the high school. It's still an ongoing investigation, but they have 0 leads. They have no idea what happened to her. But a lot of the town thinks that her brother was the one that killed her, even though they've never found her body. Is she dead? Is she alive? We don't know. Did she run away? Maybe. I don't know. But there was like a bloody handprint left, okay? So something happened. So we're gonna assume that it was not just like, I'm leaving, right? So 10 years later, they still haven't figured out what happened to her. And Wyatt has definitely become like this outcast in the town, and he's fine with it. He is kind of a loner. He is definitely introverted. He doesn't like people. He lives alone in the house that they grew up in, and he's just kind of like on his own, right? So he's driving down this deserted highway, which again screams like West Texas to me, like in between those small West Texas towns, because I've lived there. They are very flat, very field-driven, and there's just no one there. You're just driving by yourself. So he's driving down the road, and he sees this girl dumped on the side of the road in a field of dandelions. And he's like, well, crap. So he pulls over. He thinks she's dead. She's not dead. So he ends up like convincing her to get in his truck, and he takes her back to town, where she meets Odette, which Odette is a detective in the town. She grew up with Wyatt and Trumanelle, and now she still has this case in the back of her head. And so as she's talking to this girl, she had obviously been kidnapped and escaped. She realizes that these cases might actually be connected. And so the whole story is sort of like going back and forth between Trumanelle's disappearance and this girl who doesn't really have a whole lot to give as far as the investigation goes, but she knows that something has happened to her. And so it's just kind of unraveling the past to like solve the current case and to maybe figure out what happened to this girl that disappeared 10 years ago. It's so good, you guys. It's very well written. There's nothing that's going to jump out at you. I did not see the ending coming. Maybe I was so just involved in the character development of Wyatt and Odette and this girl that they found and Trumanelle, that it just never really crossed my mind until we were there, and I was like, oh dang, like it was so good, you guys. Definitely a slow burn. But I like those books. Sometimes you just need a good slow burn. You know what I mean? But I did devour it. I think this book is so good. So if you're looking for a good thriller that just is very like in-depth and well-written, I highly recommend this one. I also bought another book from her called Black Eyed Susans. It's in my pile. I have not read it yet, but if it's anything like this one, it's going to be so good. You guys can see I gave it 5 stars. I love it. So if you guys have read this book, let me know what you think. I thought it was so, so good. And if you haven't, you need to. And then you need to let me know what you think. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys like these videos where I talk about books and like what I loved about them, what I didn't, make sure to let me know. This brings me joy, so I'd probably just do them anyways. But I always like to know what you guys think. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!